guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. It is 5 book series that I want to finish. Now, I know I've kind of copied this idea from Tia's channel, which of course I will link below. But I thought, you know what guys, I've started on so many series since I've joined BookTube and I think I want to complete them. I don't know how, I don't know when. I do know which ones are going to be the first one to be completed because I'm currently halfway through it. But I've got quite a lot to show. I've got 5 series that I want to show you. 5. Now, I may well do another video on 5 book series that I want to start. But we'll have to see. I'm trying to plan my videos a little bit, but not make them too planned. But should we get down to it? I will be honest with you guys. Most of them are historical. Are you surprised? I'm certainly not. Oh, and as always, be warned, there will be a cat in it at least once. So she decides she wants to be a camera cat. So, the first series that I want to finish is the Lunar Chronicles. I've got the second one that I would like to read, the Scarlet series, Scarlet book. Now, I've read Cinder already. Scarlet was given to me by the lovely Julie from Hungry Bookworm, another channel I will link below. Look how beautiful this is. Now, I didn't think I would actually read this series. I didn't think it was for me. Thought it was too fantasy. Thought it was too, dystopic. And I thought, oh my goodness, I would not like this. But do you know what? I actually really enjoyed Cinder. Now, I've been told that the fates of Cinder and Scarlet collide as Lunar's Earth threats across the Earth. So I believe this is actually connected to Cinder. Cinder the Skywalk machine returns for a second thrilling instalment. Oh my goodness, Cinder's going to be in it. Yay! I loved Cinder. She's trying to break out of prison, and if she succeeds, she'll be the Commonwealth's most wanted fugitive. Halfway across the world, Scarlet Benoit's grandmother is missing. When Scarlet encounters Wolf, a street fighter, she may well have information about her grandmother's whereabouts. She is loath to trust him. So I kind of get the feeling this could be like Goldilocks and the Three Bad Wolves. I'm not sure. The wolf's the good guy. As Scarlet and Wolf unravel one mystery, they encounter another when they meet Cinder. Now, all of them must stay one step ahead the vicious Lunar Queen Lavana, who will do anything for the handsome Prince Kai. Now, I loved Prince Kai. I thought he was lovely. I thought he was a really nice, warm, sort of good guy, handsome lead figure. And I sort of fell in love with him in the first book. So Cinder, I believe, oh my goodness, I love that. So the fact that this connects Cinder to that. Now, there are also going to be Crest, Fairest and Winter. Now, I want them all, so I will be collecting them all. So I am now on a hunt for Cinder, for Crest, Fairest and Winter, because I want them. If I have to borrow them off Charlie, I will, but I would like my own copy because this series does look really good. Like I said, it's kind of dystopic, no, it's not dystopic, it's really sort of fantasy-based, it's really different. And do you know what? If I enjoyed Cinder, I think this one's going to be quite good. I've heard quite a lot of positive things about this. It's not too long. It's now sort of about 450 pages, which to me doesn't actually scare me anymore. But yes, I definitely like the sound of this. Definitely can't wait to read it. Now, I believe Clint wants to read this, but he's got to read Cinder first. So, Clint, if you're watching this, hurry up and read that so we can buddy read Scarlet. I'd like to kind of read it in either sort of January, February time. See, I'm booked that far in advance. How scary is that? Now, the next series is the Little Women series. Now, I have my own copy of Little Women, and I read that a few months ago with Bailey. I didn't realise in America, Little Women and Good Wives is combined, which is why Bailey's book was a lot longer. Now, there is actually a readathon regarding this, which is the Little Women readathon, which I believe Kate Howe is hosting with another lovely lady. I'm joining in on that. So I've got Good Wives, which I will be reading in December because I've already read Little Women. But like I said, their books are all combined and they're reading both that sort of joint book in December. So I'm going to kind of join in and read Good Wives. Now, obviously, I loved Little Women. I absolutely loved it. I loved the film. I would like to watch the new film. I've seen the film with Winona Ryder. Loved the first version of Little Women. But I kind of wondered, when I read Little Women, the book that I read, I wondered why Jo didn't die at the end. Now I believe I'm kind of going to get saddened in this one. This is the one that literally leads on from Little Women. It's 3 years later from Little Women. The 4 March girls have developed into young adults with their eyes directed towards the future. Meg embarks on wedded life with the carefree optimism of a new bride that's not so plain sailing. Aided by her mother's firm but gentle guidance, the hard lessons which experience brings, Meg struggles with the goals of a blissful marriage and motherhood. Meanwhile, Jo dons her scribbling suit and again tries to success in writing, but the young milady Amy discovers greater gifts than art and travels abroad. Only meek Beth has no ambition beyond her home comforts. Oh my goodness. I think this is going to make me cry. In fact, I know it is. It's only just over 300 pages, so it is longer. She went on and produced good... I'm going to see if I've got the notes in here. Now, there is lots of other books in this. Now, I love this. I love looking at the next thing. So I know that there is next going to be Jo's Boys and Little Men. I can't quite remember exactly which order they're going to be in, but again, I will be reading them January and February with joining in with the readathon, which I can't believe. I can't believe another readathon I've put my name down for. But there is also other books that this author's wrote. So she's wrote things like Rose in Bloom, An Old-Fashioned Girl, 8 Cousins, obviously Jo's Boys. And yeah, it just, oh my goodness, I would like to get more of her books. So I'm definitely going to read this one in December, Jo's Boys and Little Men. Again, I can't quite remember exactly what order they're going to be in January and February, and I will be looking for her other books. But to me, that Little Women series will be completed with Jo's Boys and Little Men. So that will be done this year, which is something positive. I know that this series will be completed at the start of the year, but I love it. I can't believe Good Wives, I've actually got it. I actually got 2 copies, and I think Charlie's got a copy of this, so I think Charlie might also be reading this in December. Hope so, Charlie. I'd love to hear your opinion. But look at the cover again. You guys know I love Penguin Popular Classics. Look how beautiful that is. It's one of my most beautiful books, actually. I hide all my classics down the bottom shelf in my book bedroom, but this is so beautiful. So I can't wait to read this in December. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to look at my notes and see when you guys are actually seeing this video, because you know me and my plan. I have got all this. So book series I want to complete. Yes, this is coming out in November, so you would have seen this. So the following month on from this video coming out, I'll be reading Good Wives. Now the next series, I have read 2 of this series, but I've read them in the wrong order. Called Midwife. I thought I'd lost this book because I've obviously collected the whole series up. I thought I'd lost this, and I went and bought another copy of it, only to find out that I'd lent one copy to Charlie. So I've read Call the Midwife. I've read, I believe, the 3rd book, which was Farewell to East End, but I've got another 2. So I've got In the Midst of Life and Shadows of the Workhouse, which I'm going to be reading with the lovely Simone. But as and when, I don't know exactly when yet. I love Call the Midwife. I definitely think this is my favourite book that I've read so far out of the 2. I found that Farewell to the East End was really sad. It was really depressing. Not really related to the midwife bit, so I'm hoping that Shadows of the Workplace will be better and more related to the Midwife series. I know In the Midst of Life is a different bit. It's written by the same author, but it's kind of like a bit further in the future. Again, it's historical fiction. It's post-war. The series on the TV has been out for ages. I never watched it from the start, so what I'm going to aim to do, hint, hint, Chris again, is to try watching all of it from the start, but it means I've got to buy it all, which is a bit unfortunate, because I don't have catch-up or anything like that. But yeah, I love this. I love this book, and I'm looking forward to reading In the Workplace next, Shadows of the Workplace next. But I want to get this completed. I definitely like this series. Tell you what, guys, something I've learned since joining BookTube is once I get one book in a series, I kind of end up wanting to read more, which is what's dangerous. So although I've got 5 series here, I've got more series that I'm starting in January, which I think I will do another video. That's a good idea for a video. I will start the series I'm starting. Now the next series is the Plantagenet and Tudor series. Again, I've read them in the wrong order. I've read White Queen, I've read The Last Tudor, I've listened to The Last Tudor, I think. There is another one about the 3 Tudor princesses. I can't remember which one, but the 3, and I've read The Other Berlin Girl. I want to read The Berlin Inheritance, which I believe my mum's got. I gave that to her. So but I've read them not in the right series, in the right order. So what I'm doing, this is my aim, is I've now recently read The White Queen. The Red Queen I'll be reading in the same month this video is coming out in November. And then after that, I plan to read the first book in this series, which is The King's Curse. But that scares me because this is one of the meatiest, biggest books. And you can hear my cat go mad. This is nearly 600 pages. It is a chunky book. Look how big it is. But again, look how beautiful that is. So the first one is the heir to the Plantagenets, Margaret Pole, is a rival claimant to the Tudor throne. Buried in marriage to the loyal Tudor supporter, she becomes guardian of Arthur, the young Prince of Wales, and his beautiful bride, the Queen Catherine of Aragon. But her destiny is not for a life in the shadows. Tragedy throws Margaret into poverty, yet the king's death restores her to a place on the young King Henry VIII's throne lady-in-waiting to the Queen Catherine. So, as the Tudor court scours, Margaret must choose between her allegiance with the ever-increasingly tyrannical King Henry or her friend, his abandoned Queen. And Margaret is hiding a deadly secret, a curse that was cast off the Tudor line, and she is watching it to come. So, this is different. It doesn't sound to me like it's historically, even though it's the first in the series, it doesn't sound historically the first, if that makes sense. Because I know that the White Queen and the Red Queen that I'm going to be reading kind of interlinked with just the start of just before this. So I think, although I'm reading it sort of third, I think kind of glad that I'm actually reading the Red and the White Queen before this, because to me they kind of lead on to this. But it may well make sense at some point when I read this. Again, I'm collecting the whole series, so once I've read this one, I've got a lot more of the series to collect, and I am scouring all of the charity shops to collect the whole series. And then I've also got other Philippa Gregory books I will be collecting, but like I said, before I read the other Philippa Gregory books, I want to read the whole of this series. I am a massive Tudor fan, as you all well know. I love Philippa Gregory. I've loved listening to all her books on audiobook, and even though I've listened to them all on audiobook, I will probably try and buy even the ones I've bought on audiobook, because to me it's a great series. I remember King Henry VIII and the Tudors from school time. It was one of my favourite periods of history. Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. I remember that to the day. And Mia is actually really interested in this, which is something I love. I know that Tom from Tom Reads Things likes it. Julie from Hungry Bookworm likes it. And it's my favourite. I know I'm getting more into different eras of history, like Victorian fiction. I really love Victorian times as well now. But to me, this will always hold a place close to my heart because, like I said, it's related to me growing up and it reminds me of a lot of happy memories. But so definitely this series is probably one of my most popular, one of the ones I can't wait to complete. Although it's actually the biggest series because it's not like 3 or 4 books, it's a lot longer than that. So this one may take a bit longer to read. Now, finally, the series that I'm technically third on as this is recording. I'm recording this in October. I'm nearly finished this book, and this is Prince Caspian. The month that this video is going up, I'm going to be reading The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is technically the 4th in the series. Now, what I'd like to tell you all is some information I only recently found out, which is that actually The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe isn't actually the first in the proper series, and you should actually read The Magician's Nephew first. Now, what I have done, because by doing my research, is that I've actually read The Magician's Nephew. I've reread Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Like I said, reading this at the time that this video is going out. Then I'll read The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is the last one that's filmed and the last one that we all know about. But there is consequently other books like The Silver Chair, The Last Battle. Can't remember, there's another one, at least there's another one included in that. But so yeah, these are the ones that after that are the ones I'm really, really looking forward to. But I am loving rereading this. You can see I've got my Harry Potter bookmark. What I love about reading this, I'm certainly reading it at night time because it's very good and settling, is that it's actually rereading it and you're realising how different it is to the films that were shown. Because I am actually currently, while this is being filmed, on page 140, which is the start of The Sorcerer's and Sudden Vengeance. And the way that this is actually filmed, that Lucy and her brothers, Peter, Edward and his sister Susan, actually in the film meet Prince Caspian a lot earlier than they do in the book. Because they haven't even met him yet, and we're near the end of this book. So that shows the way the film's done. I think it's because the film wants it to be longer and it adds stuff. But to me, the books are way better than the films. Yes, they're shorter, but the way C.S. Lewis has got his writing bang on, I am not joking. Also, I found that by watching The Magician's Nephew first, I found it a lot more interesting. I actually understood The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe better by reading it in that order. And I do believe that it's actually going to make sense the other books. But this is probably one of my all-time favourite series as of growing up. I love C.S. Lewis. I now own the complete series. Chris and Nat, between us, we picked up all of the books in the series. And I will rave about C.S. Lewis to my dying day. And it's the series that my children will be reading. I don't know how much... They've seen all the films that have been out, but they will certainly be reading the books because that is my passion and it's my love. Although, in December, I've been currently reading the Narnia series every month at bedtime. One a month, every month at bedtime, in amongst other books. But I am going to be completing the Harry Potter series. I know it's adding this on, but I'd like to, yeah, I've read all again. Harry Potter is another series that I've read from top to bottom. Didn't like The Cursed Child, so I will say that's one series that I'm not finishing. I read The Cursed Child and don't like it at all. But I have got it thanks to Vicky, so thank you. Anyway, guys, I hope you've liked these 5 series. What series have you guys? Can you recommend me a series to read? I would love to know what series you think I should read because I will be doing a video on that next year. And I cannot wait to hear your opinion on some series that I should start. So, if you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling! And I hope you all have a lovely, lovely time. Take care. Bye-bye.